Hey Chiefs Kingdom, today's a big day because the front office is making moves, and we got a lot to break down together. There's a defensive back coming in to fill a hole that's been wide open since free agency started, a brand new weapon in the backfield who already got a phone call from Mahomes himself the second he signed, and then Kelce. Yeah, Kelce doing Kelce things way outside the football field. If you're locked in on everything happening with this team right now, hit that like button real quick and let's get into it, because the Chiefs just made their first real splash to rebuild that secondary. Look, the Chiefs have been bleeding corners this offseason. Trent McDuffie, gone. Jalen Watson, gone. Joshua Williams, gone. That's 3 cornerbacks walking out the door, and if you've been paying attention, you already know that the secondary was one of the biggest question marks heading into the offseason. So when NFL insider Jordan Schultz broke the news that Kansas City is set to sign former Miami Dolphins cornerback Kader Kohou, it felt like the front office finally taking a breath after holding it for weeks. Now, who is Kader Kohou? If you only watch nationally televised games, you might not know the name, but trust me, this guy earned everything he got in Miami. He came in as an undrafted free agent out of Texas A&M Commerce back in 2022, which means nobody handed him anything. He made the roster because he could play press man coverage, and that skill got him onto the field fast under defensive coordinator Josh Boyer's man-heavy scheme. Over 3 seasons, Kohou played in 49 regular season and postseason games, started 40 of them, racked up 180 total tackles, 13 tackles for loss, 28 passes defended, 3 interceptions, and even forced a couple of fumbles along the way. Those are numbers that belong to a guy who was building toward a big payday. And that's exactly what makes the 2025 injury so brutal. Kohou was heading into what should have been his breakout contract year, with the season where he cemented himself as a real starter in this league. And then his knee gave out on the very first weekend of training camp. Didn't play a single snap, went straight to injured reserve and watched the whole season from the sideline. For a guy who fought his way up from undrafted to starter, that had to sting in a way that's hard to put into words. But here's the thing about Kohou that makes this signing make sense for Kansas City. Before that injury, he was genuinely getting better every single year. In 2023, he was thrown into Vic Fangio's complex zone match defense, while also covering for injuries to Xavier Howard and Jalen Ramsey at the same time. That's a nightmare situation for any cornerback, let alone one still figuring out a new scheme. But he handled it, leveled up, and by the end of 2024, he was the most versatile and well-rounded version of himself, playing multiple alignments, reading routes faster, and making plays on the ball. The trajectory was pointing straight up. So what does he bring to Kansas City specifically? Slot coverage. That's the answer. McDuffie was the engine of the Chiefs' nickel package, and without him, that position is wide open. Kohou has logged over 2,500 career snaps in the slot, along with another 700 plus at boundary corner, which means he gives Kansas City real flexibility depending on what they need week to week. Kevin Knowles-Deseku and Melvin Smith Jr. are also in the mix for that nickel role, so there will be competition. But Kohou walks in as the most experienced option in the room by a significant margin. Alright, so the defense is starting to come together, but the offense just got even more interesting. And honestly, this next move might be the most exciting one of the entire offseason for Chiefs fans. And Mahomes' reaction, yeah, you're gonna want to hear this. When the legal tampering window opened on Monday, the Kansas City Chiefs moved fast. They agreed to a 3-year, $43.05 million deal with running back Kenneth Walker III, formerly of the Seattle Seahawks. And before the ink was even dry, Patrick Mahomes was already hyping it up on social media. Walker posted the announcement on X, and Mahomes immediately reposted it with 2 words: "Let's go." Then he picked up the phone. "We talked on the phone. He's a real genuine person," Walker said about Mahomes at his introductory press conference on Thursday. And you could tell in the way he said it that the call meant something. You feel appreciated and wanted. Everybody wants that. I'm just trying to get another ring. Another ring. Because Kenneth Walker III already has one. He won Super Bowl LX MVP after going off for 135 yards on 27 carries in a 29-13 win over the New England Patriots. The man knows what a championship locker room feels like, and now he's walking into one that's been there 3 times since 2019. But here's why this signing goes beyond just adding a talented back. It fills a genuine problem that haunted this team all of last season. The 2025 Chiefs went 6-11, missed the playoffs for the first time since 2014, and one of the biggest reasons was that they simply could not run the football consistently. They ranked 24th in the league in rushing yards per game, averaging just 106.6. It got so bad that Mahomes himself finished third on the team in rushing yards with 422. The quarterback was one of their most dangerous runners. That tells you everything you need to know about how thin that backfield was. Walker fixes that. In 2025, he ran for 1,027 yards in the regular season for Seattle, and then turned it up another level in the playoffs, leading all runners with 313 postseason rushing yards. He's proven he can carry a workload, break tackles, create after contact, and perform when the lights are brightest. At 24 years old, he's entering what should be the prime years of his career. And with Mahomes returning from a torn ACL, he's targeting a Week 1 comeback after the injury in December. Having a true workhorse back changes everything. Kansas City won't need to lean on their quarterback to keep drives alive on the ground. Walker shoulders that responsibility now, which means Mahomes can manage his recovery, protect himself, and still run one of the most dangerous offenses in the league. This wasn't just a good signing, it was a necessary one, and the Chiefs got it right. Okay, so we've got the defense getting patched up and the offense getting a serious upgrade, but it wouldn't be an NFL offseason without Travis Kelce making headlines. And this time, it has nothing to do with a football field, not even close. Travis Kelce has never been just a football player. The guy is a cultural force. Massive podcast with his brother Jason on New Heights. The whole Taylor Swift relationship that made him a household name way beyond sports. And a personality that fills up any room he walks into. So when Six Flags announced that Kelce is their new brand ambassador, honestly, the only surprising thing is that it took this long. But here's what makes this different from a typical celebrity endorsement deal. Kelce isn't just a face on a billboard, he's actually invested in the company. Last year, he put money into a Six Flags park in Sandusky, Ohio, and through his investment group with Jana Partners, he now owns around 9% of Six Flags Entertainment Corporation. This is a business move as much as it is a marketing deal. He's expanding a relationship that already has real financial skin in the game. According to TMZ Sports, Kelce will be involved in digital content, social media posts, and, their words, other fun surprises, which, knowing Kelce's personality, could genuinely mean anything. Off the field, he's also reportedly planning his wedding to Taylor Swift, so yeah, the man is staying busy. Meanwhile, on the field, he's still one of the greatest tight ends ever to play the game, sitting third all time in receiving yards with 13,002, just 44 behind Jason Witten, with Tony Gonzalez's 15,127-yard record still out there as the mountain to climb. So there you have it, the Chiefs patching the secondary with a smart, low-risk signing in Coho, giving Mahomes a real running game with Walker, and Kelce turning into a full-on entertainment and business empire. The real question is this roster actually ready to compete for a Super Bowl again? Or does Kansas City still need one more major move? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you don't want to miss a single update on this team, subscribe to the channel right now. Chiefs Kingdom, let's ride!